Imagine driving along a quiet road in Northern California on a cold December evening in 1968. The sun has already disappeared below the horizon. Small towns are peaceful, families are preparing for the holidays, and nothing seems out of the ordinary. But hidden somewhere in the darkness, a person is about to begin a series of crimes that will become one of the greatest mysteries in American history. The Zodiac Killer was never officially identified. More than half a century later, investigators, journalists, historians, and amateur researchers continue searching for answers. Despite thousands of documents, countless interviews, and decades of investigation, the identity of the person behind the name Zodiac remains unknown. The story began on December 20th, 1968, near Lake Herman Road in Benicia, California. Two teenagers, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, were spending the evening together when they were attacked. Local law enforcement immediately secured the scene, interviewed witnesses, collected physical evidence, and searched for anyone who might have seen suspicious activity in the area. At first, investigators believed the crime might be an isolated incident. They had no reason to believe it would become part of something much larger. Just months later, another violent attack occurred at Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo. This time, one victim survived long enough to provide investigators with valuable information. Detectives carefully documented every statement, compared evidence from both crime scenes and began searching for similarities. As the investigation expanded, police departments across Northern California started sharing information, hoping that cooperation would reveal a pattern. Then the case took a dramatic and unexpected turn. Newspapers across California began receiving anonymous letters. The writer claimed responsibility for the attacks and demanded that coded messages be published. Each letter contained carefully written statements and mysterious symbols. Investigators immediately treated every envelope, every stamp, every fingerprint, and every sheet of paper as potential evidence. Handwriting experts, forensic examiners, and detectives worked together, hoping that one small detail might reveal the sender's identity. Those coded messages quickly became one of the most famous elements of the entire investigation. Cryptographers, mathematicians, and ordinary citizens all attempted to solve them. Some messages were eventually deciphered, while others remain unsolved to this day. Each new discovery generated even more questions than answers, pushing investigators deeper into one of the most complex criminal investigations in American history. As fear spread across Northern California, the investigation continued to grow. Detectives reviewed witness statements, followed new leads, and expanded the search across multiple jurisdictions. Yet, despite their determination, the mystery only became more complicated. And this was only the beginning. In the next chapter, the investigation would take another shocking turn, one that would challenge law enforcement even further and transform the Zodiac case into a national obsession. As investigators worked to understand the anonymous letters, another major incident pushed the case into an entirely new phase. On September 27, 1969, two college students were spending a quiet afternoon near Lake Berryessa in Napa County. What began as an ordinary day would soon become another critical chapter in the growing investigation. When law enforcement officers arrived, they immediately secured the area and began documenting every detail. Investigators photographed the scene, measured distances, collected physical evidence, and interviewed everyone who might have seen unusual activity. Nearby roads, hiking trails, and surrounding properties were carefully searched. Every observation was recorded because detectives knew that even the smallest clue could become important later. One discovery immediately drew attention. Investigators found writing on a vehicle parked near the scene. The markings appeared to reference previous attacks, suggesting that the same individual might be responsible. Detectives carefully photographed the writing, preserved the vehicle for forensic examination, and compared the information with evidence collected from earlier investigations. The possibility that the cases were connected became increasingly difficult to ignore. As the investigation continued, forensic specialists examined fingerprints, shoe impressions, handwriting samples, and every available piece of physical evidence. Laboratories across California worked alongside local detectives, while information was shared between multiple law enforcement agencies. Large investigation boards filled with maps, photographs, timelines, and witness statements became the center of daily briefings. Teams reviewed reports repeatedly, searching for connections that might have been overlooked. Public interest continued to grow. Newspapers reported verified developments almost daily, while television and radio stations followed the investigation closely. Detectives, however, remained cautious. They understood that public speculation could interfere with the search for reliable evidence. Every witness statement required verification. Every reported sighting had to be investigated before becoming part of the official record. Only 2 weeks later, the investigation entered another dramatic phase. On October 11, 1969, a taxi driver was attacked in the Presidio Heights neighborhood of San Francisco. Officers responded within minutes, securing the area and beginning an intensive search. Witnesses provided descriptions, crime scene technicians documented physical evidence, and detectives launched one of the largest coordinated investigations California had seen. Despite the rapid response and the growing amount of evidence, investigators still faced the same frustrating question: who was responsible? Every new clue seemed to bring them closer to the truth, yet the identity of the person behind the Zodiac name remained hidden. The investigation was no longer focused on a single crime. It had become a statewide effort involving detectives, forensic scientists, cryptography experts, journalists, and thousands of citizens, each hoping that one overlooked detail might finally solve the mystery. But the most challenging chapter was still ahead. By the end of 1969, the Zodiac investigation had become one of the largest criminal investigations in California's history. Detectives from multiple jurisdictions worked together, sharing evidence, comparing witness statements, and following every credible lead. Yet despite months of relentless effort, the mystery only seemed to deepen. Anonymous letters continued to arrive at newspapers, each one carefully examined before anyone even read its contents. Investigators photographed every envelope, searched for fingerprints, compared handwriting samples, and documented every physical detail. The letters contained symbols, coded messages, and statements that investigators treated with extreme caution. While some ciphers were eventually solved by private citizens and experts, others have resisted every attempt at interpretation for decades. As technology improved, the investigation evolved with it. Physical evidence collected years earlier was re-examined using newer forensic methods. Detectives revisited archived reports, reviewed original photographs, and compared evidence with information from newly identified persons of interest. Every advancement in forensic science created fresh hope that the case might finally be solved. Over the years, several individuals were publicly discussed as possible suspects. Some attracted attention because of witness descriptions. Others became subjects of investigation due to circumstantial evidence or personal histories. However, despite years of speculation, no suspect has ever been officially confirmed as the Zodiac Killer by law enforcement. Investigators consistently emphasize the importance of distinguishing verified evidence from public theories. The case also inspired generations of independent researchers, journalists, historians, and cryptography enthusiasts. Thousands of people studied police files, newspaper archives, and the surviving ciphers, hoping to discover something investigators might have missed. Every new theory generated debate, but none produced conclusive proof that could definitively identify the person responsible. For the families affected by these events, the passage of time never erased the unanswered questions. Detectives retired, new investigators joined the case, and cold case units continued reviewing evidence whenever advances in science offered new possibilities. The investigation remained active in different forms, driven by a simple belief that even decades later, one overlooked detail could still reveal the truth. More than 50 years after the first confirmed attacks, the Zodiac case continues to stand as one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. It is a story of persistence, forensic science, and an investigation that refused to end, even when the trail grew cold. Yet one final question remained. Why has this case continued to fascinate the world for more than half a century? The answer lies not only in what investigators discovered, but also in everything they never did. More than half a century has passed since the Zodiac investigation first began, yet the case continues to capture the attention of detectives, historians, journalists, and millions of people around the world. Few criminal investigations have generated as much discussion, research, and public interest while remaining officially unsolved. Boxes of evidence collected in the late 1960s still exist. Original photographs, witness statements, fingerprint cards, handwritten letters, and physical evidence have been carefully preserved by law enforcement. Over the decades, many of these materials have been examined again, using forensic techniques that did not exist when the investigation first began. Each scientific advancement has offered investigators another opportunity to search for answers hidden within the evidence. Some of the Zodiac's coded messages have eventually been solved through the combined efforts of cryptography experts, mathematicians, and dedicated volunteers. Their work provided new insight into the investigation, but it did not reveal the identity of the person responsible. Other ciphers remain unsolved even today, continuing to challenge researchers around the world. Throughout the years, numerous names have appeared in books, documentaries, television programs, and online discussions. Some individuals were investigated extensively, while others became the subject of public speculation. However, law enforcement agencies have repeatedly stated that no individual has been officially confirmed as the Zodiac Killer. In a case filled with theories, investigators continue to rely only on verifiable evidence. The Zodiac investigation also changed the way major criminal cases were handled. Police departments improved cooperation across jurisdictions. Forensic laboratories expanded their capabilities, and investigators developed new methods for preserving and comparing evidence. The lessons learned from this case influenced countless future investigations across the United States. Today, cold case investigators continue reviewing archive materials whenever new forensic technology becomes available. DNA, analysis, digital imaging, and advanced evidence processing have created opportunities that investigators in 1969 could never have imagined. Even now, many believe that one overlooked detail, or one future scientific breakthrough, could finally provide the answer that has remained hidden for decades. The Zodiac Killer remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. Not because investigators stopped searching, but because every answer uncovered seemed to create even more questions. Behind every document, every photograph, every coded message, and every preserved piece of evidence lies the same unanswered mystery that has challenged generations of investigators. Perhaps one day, the final piece of the puzzle will be found. Until then, the Zodiac case remains a powerful reminder that history still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. If you enjoy well-researched documentaries about true crime, unsolved mysteries, and hidden history, subscribe to the channel and join us in the next investigation. There are still many mysteries waiting to be explored.